Hello everybody, today we have Mix 8, which is the final moving parts mix of 2024 for Matchbox. And something very strange about this mix is that all 8 cars were brand new castings. That's never happened before in the moving parts line. Also, I think when it first came out, they were 6 cars per case. Now it's 8. But also, of course, when it first came out, the first mix, they were all new castings anyway, because they had to start the line. But since then, there's been a good mix of recolors and new models. But for the first time since the start of the line, we have a full mix of new castings, which they all must have gotten delayed and just had to pump them all out at the end of the year so they could make their 2024 debut as they were announced to. Because people get mad when stuff gets delayed. And then when it comes out and it's rushed, they get mad. Like, well, did you want it today or did you want it in 2 months? Like, I don't know. But I only have 7 of the models here. I don't have the Range Rover. Not by choice, couldn't find it. I wouldn't mind adding one when I do. I'm surprised that one was harder to find out of all of these. But yeah, it's the Range Rover Camper, which is a pretty cool. So now what I normally do in these videos is I start with the recolors and then I go to the new models in the order that I'm excited for. But when they're all new models, this is hard to do, especially because this set doesn't have, as far as I know, does not have a single dud in this line. So it's very hard for me to create an order here of leaving my most excited for last, which I think I'm going to call the Durango, actually, when we'll get to that. So we're going to start with the Mini. By no means is this a bad car, and obviously I liked it enough to buy it. But it's just, there's other stuff here that's just more interesting. But the Mini's going to be interesting too, because of how the moving part operates, and I'll show you that in a second. Let's get it out of the packaging. This is the Mini Cooper EV. I don't remember if these are on sale in North America yet. I think they're going to be. I just don't know if they are here yet. But the interesting thing about the Mini Cooper EV is while it looks like the regular Mini Cooper, these vehicles don't share anything in common. They are both built completely on their own platform, and they just look similar. It shares nothing with the regular Mini Cooper besides the design language, which is weird because they have the same name. This one's just EV. But this looks really good. This front end looks really good. I love the Euro plate on here. I love that it's actually like a plate instead of just a vanity. Like, you don't see that much from Matchbox, unless this does actually mean something. Or maybe they use this plate in like a promotional photo, and that's where Matchbox got it from. But yeah, I love the fact that it actually looks like a real plate. Like, because the vanity plates all the time on the Matchbox castings kind of gets repetitive, and if you want to use it in a diorama, they all have vanity plates. And most of them say Matchbox or the car name. The tail lights look really good. Of course, when they're together, they look like the Union Jack, which is cool, but when you put the signal on, it kind of looks like the arrow is pointing inward, but you're turning the other direction. So that's kind of funny. I don't like how Matchbox does distance sensors, though, because the whole point of them is to be flush with the car, so that on the real cars, the whole point is to be flush so that it doesn't look like this, except when you get translated to the Matchbox, it does look like this. You do have an interior in here. Don't get fooled by the blacked out windows. Can't see any of it, but it is in there. You can see a steering wheel and a dashboard. Headlights looking good. I love the black trim around the grille here. The S on the grille, your intake, and the Mini Cooper emblem. But here we go. Here is the interesting part. Boom, hood goes up, but look at the headlights don't. They stay right there mounted to the front support. There's your electric battery, I guess. Is that supposed to be like a little shelf you can put some on? I don't know. But yeah, Matchbox, like that is, you can't tell there's a gap there. That is just amazing. I think this one deserves to be up there just for that feat. Like, this took some engineering. And I love it. Maybe that's why it looks so good. They had to make sure it matched the real car perfectly in order for this to work. We need more stuff like this in the moving parts line. More of these interesting moving parts. And the proportions of this thing are awesome. This is a great casting. And now I kind of feel bad about starting with it. But there's just so much here. And I feel bad about leaving this guy to the end because I absolutely hate the real car. But I think this casting is pretty good from what I've seen. We'll see how that holds up when I get into it. The real car is egregious. It's hideous. But what isn't hideous is the 1969 Triumph Spitfire. This is a gorgeous car, and I don't know much about it. I can just tell you it's gorgeous. I probably would know more about it if it was if I was more European based, but I'm not. I live in America and I like Japanese cars, as most Americans do nowadays. But whoa, hold on, this thing's got some surprises too. But yeah, I don't know European vehicles too well. I know Mercedes. I love Mercedes, but the rest of them, you know, Audi changes their naming system every 5 years, so that's they're doing it again now, so that doesn't help. Other than the R8, no, I can tell you most Audis, but Triumphs and TVRs I think are awesome. I just don't know anything about them. At least I know of their existence because some people don't. But yeah, here got the Triumph Spitfire, and this thing is awesome. Now you can already see the front bumper here is metal, and it's actually pretty heavy. If I try to put it on my finger, it's gonna nosedive. That front end's pretty heavy with that big bumper there. And the rear bumper's plastic. Yeah, the rear bumper's plastic, front bumper is metal, which is interesting. No, we'll save the hood for last. See, here's our vanity plate. Well, is it? I mean, I see the SP, which I was thinking Spitfire, but the rest of it kind of just seems random. Triumph across the back here. The taillights look good. Markers look good. No grainy details on this one, which is very nice to see. I don't think even the headlights have it. Triumph. The Mini did, though. There's your dashboard. Well, your circular gauges. Look at these smooth body lines. This is a car. Disc wheels, and how's the hood function? You have to lift up on it first? Normally there's like a way to open these. Like the Pagani, which actually we haven't seen in a while. Have we seen the Pagani in the new packaging? I don't think we have. But that one you have to like lift up on it first, and then... But I don't think this one has, or is that just as far as it opens? That might be just as far as it opens. But the engine's actually metal, which is strange. So the engine, if the engine's metal, that's a separate piece. The bumper moves with the hood, so that's got to be a separate piece too. I think the bumper is what it actually hinges on. Yeah, it's a separate piece. Interesting. I don't like that it doesn't open all the way, but there's no details under here anyway. It's just a casted motor, which actually looks pretty good. What's it, a straight 3? A straight 3, straight 4. Let's see, where's the... Oh, it's a 4-cylinder. So straight 4. Pretty cool. I'm sure it was kind of fast. This thing doesn't look like it weighs more than 2,500 pounds. Sure, it was a quick straight 4 if it was just like 100 horsepower. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about these. I'm actually impressed I could tell it's a 4-cylinder. Unless it isn't. Someone will let me know. Ooh, don't do that. I hate when it goes less than 1 on the Focus. Moving on to the Mercedes-Benz. Yeah. You ready for this mouthful? Mercedes-Benz G58 G50 with EQ technology. Yeah. The G-Wagon. No wonder why they shorten the name, because it gets longer every year. But this is the fully electric G-Wagon. The nice thing about it is it looks just like the gasoline G-Wagon. So, not so much of a loss. They didn't have to make it look stupidly innovative. Just a simple. The door's gonna be hard to open, and I just clipped my nails too, so I'm not gonna be able to get it open. Reminds you of the Tomica military truck with the armored doors, and the windows like super tiny. I don't know if I have one around here for reference, but they open. But I don't think anybody knows they open because you can't get them opened. There's your LED headlights, your blacked out grille, Mercedes emblem. The grille doesn't actually function, I don't believe. I think that's your intakes for the electric motor cooling system. You get the big multi-spoke rims, which work very well on this one. Black trim on the doors and the handles. G580 on the back there, but they should have called it the E580. But I don't know. EQ technology was more clunky. There's your taillights. There's your Mercedes badge. I like that the top of the spare tire cover there is painted black, which that seems like a very small spare tire though. Oh wait, or no, it's not a spare tire, is it? Isn't it where the charge cable's stored? I think that's what it was. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think that's what it is. This one also has the fenders, the bumpers are all plastic. It's just a plastic piece, which might be part of the interior. I don't know. Let's see if I can... Speaking of interior, let's see if I can get the door open. Oh. No, I shut it. Come on. There. So they snap into the open position, which is nice. Actually, I think it's been a while since I've reviewed a opening doors on a moving... No, it hasn't, because the Roadmaster had them. But these ones actually snap into place. I don't think the Roadmaster ones did. It's got a similar little spring in there like the Tomicas do, which, if depending on age, they fail. So I wonder how these ones will hold up. But this will probably be the only time I open these doors, because I don't want to scratch it all up trying to get them open. But that's super cool that they were able to keep the frames on the windows there, and it definitely seems to look a lot better. What they didn't keep the frames on, however, look how big that thing is too, is the Toyota Prius. I don't remember the Prius having frameless windows. It might, but I don't think it does. I actually highly doubt it does, because I don't think that's something Toyota has done in years. Which is weird. I've sat in like a few of these too, and I guess I just don't pay attention to if it has frames or not until you see it without them and you question yourself. But I want to confidently say that it's supposed to have frame doors. And here we have the stupid new packaging causing issues. Now, I didn't think it was stupid at first, but with the Jaguar having all this scratches in the roof, and now the Prius having a bunch of scratches in the roof, this new packaging is kind of getting questionable. Because this looks like a car that was in my bin of toys as a kid, and you pull it out and every window looks like that. But this has been in the packaging for like a couple months. Here's the Prius. Actually pretty good looking. So now I think I messed up previously when I was saying that the moving parts Prius was bad and the mainline one was good. The mainline one is the one that's bad. The moving parts one is the one that's good, even if the door isn't accurate. This looks better proportioned, and now that I have the mainline in person, I can definitely confirm that this is better. And we'll compare it to the mainline one, I think, when I do the mainline review. We got Prius on the back here. You got your tail light bar. Toyota, your rear brake light. Prime on the back there, so it's got all the gloss black trim instead of the flat black trim, except you can't tell because it's part of the base. But the Prime's got all the glossy trim, and they're the hybrid, they're the full, like, what do you want to call it? The powerful hybrids. No, I think I'm making stuff up now. But yeah, they normally get the better looking trim. They get the chrome trim too in the front. Toyota badge. Headlights, your grill, I think. It's got the multi-spokes that the G-Wagon has, except they're chrome. Which I don't think would be completely accurate on a Prime. I think they had black wheels. Or at least like the tinted wheels would work better. But yeah, both doors open. You see, these ones don't lock in the outer position. They're too loose. Like the G-Wagon's locked. Yeah, the Prius Prime. Pretty cool. I love the new Prius, by the way. Great car. The Prius has always been a good car, but the previous generation was a little ugly. So it's definitely a big improvement. Of course, nothing beats the first gen. The Toyota Echo looking one. Yeah, we go from the Toyota Echo to the BMW iX. Very interesting conversation here, but yes, the iX, one of the hideous cars, the most hideous cars you can buy in 2025. Yes, they still make it, I believe. Which, you're like, well, it's only 23. I would hope they still make it. Yeah, but that's not always the case because Honda and Mazda have killed off EVs that have lasted like 2 years of production. And, of course, the IM joins the XM and the 7 Series as some of the most ugliest cars you can buy right now, and they're all BMWs. Here's this turd. But I gotta say, the Matchbox casting, it's a terrible looking vehicle, but the Matchbox casting is super cool. I like this. Now, this car, when it first came out, I remember it was advertised to have a self-healing grille. Whatever that means. So I don't know the chemistry. I don't know the science behind it. But if you were to get a little ding on the grill because it's plastic, it normally when cars come in, because I work on cars, most of you know I do auto body. Car comes in, you know, the grill's either smashed or it's got like the plastic warps and gets all, got like a bunch of little dents or ripples in it or whatever. Supposedly, according to BMW, that it's supposed to, when it gets a little stone chip or a abrasion that dents the surface of the grill, because plastic will dent to a certain extent, it's supposed to level out and, you know, self-heal. I don't know what that means for the paint. I'm sure the paint chips off, but I think the integrity of the grill will stay intact as long as it doesn't crack. Of course, it's not going to be able to fix its own cracks, but I think any dents, ripples, if it gets unlevel for some reason, I think it levels itself. I don't know. Don't know exactly how that works. Oh, the IM is in production, though. You know how I know that? They don't mention the self-healing grill. You know why? Probably didn't work. There's a new facelift coming out. And yeah, they had nothing to say about the self-healing grill. So whatever. It doesn't exist, or maybe it didn't work, or whatever. Maybe it's still there, but it just didn't work, so there's no point in advertising it. That'd be funny. Anyway, rant over. You got your headlights. You got your BMW emblem on the top there. Markers. Not markers. I think it's just blue trim. Looks like they should be marker lights. Your blue trim on the side here and the black cladding. Yeah, all this cladding on a quote-unquote luxury EV SUV. M60, whatever that means. I don't know BMW terms. iX, taillights, BMW badge. I heard these things are fast, but that don't mean anything. It's still a terrible looking car. The interior color is probably accurate, I can assume. Yeah, these things, I couldn't figure out how to get out of one. I sat in one before. Couldn't figure out how to get out of it. Couldn't find the button, because of course there's no door handle, because of course door handles are for peasants. So, got entire glass roof. Typical gimmicky, we want to be luxury vehicle. Nothing impressive about this car whatsoever, because, yeah. But the Matchbox casting's good looking. And it kind of looks like a wagon, so... There. Now, onto a vehicle that's actually good. The Chevy Corvair ramp side truck. I don't know why they just call it the Corvair. I think this is a time where Chevy was trying to make the Corvair its own brand, as they were trying to do with the Corvette, which haven't heard much about that. But they had the Corvair wagon, the Corvair sedan, the Corvair coupe, and the Corvair truck. Well, actually, was there a sedan? Might have been just a coupe. I don't remember. But, yeah, here's the... So this was supposed to compete with the Dodge A100 and the Ford Econoline pickups. I think it was called the Econoline. It was the Econoline something. But it was on the Econoline nameplate. Again, I just know Japanese vehicles, so... The American vehicle knowledge of mine is, like, scattered. Mostly 1980s and newer. Because that's stuff that's recently on the road. I mean, some of the 60s stuff is easy to follow, like the muscle cars. But until you get into Canadian exclusive variants, like how the Corvair was a GMC something or other. Or not the Corvair, it was the... Yeah, no, I think this was sold as a GMC in Canada. Can't remember. The Chevy vans, too, whatever they were GMCs as well. They didn't get the Chevy versions. What else? I don't remember what else. There's a lot of stuff. The Plymouth Savoy wagon was a Dodge Dart wagon in Canada. I don't think we got the Dart wagon in the U.S. We got the Dart, but we never got the wagon version because we got the Savoy. Whatever, going on about a rant. I could be wrong on all of that. Like, that's not my specialty, but that's just based on what I've discovered. Anyway, this one gets the grainy decals, which I guess is okay. It doesn't really affect the white trim, but the headlights kind of look funny. The grill's okay, I guess. You can kind of make out the Chevrolet on the front there. You got the bow tie on the front license plate. Corvair on the door. There's your Corvair taillights. Of course, remember the coupes were considered unsafe at any speed. Yeah, there was a coupe and a sedan. There had to be if the wagon existed. There's the little thing I was talking about in the last Matchbox video. The little indent. Yeah, I don't like it. There's your rear window. Of course, you got some vents over here, which... Oh, they're over there, too. I don't know what those do. It's not like there's rear AC. Alright, no, wait. The engine was back here. Was it? Had to be. That was the whole thing with the Corvair. Yeah, the engine was in the back of this thing, too. That's what those vents are for. Duh. Just talking about the unsafe at any speed... Love to bring that up. Knocking over the camera. Again, don't know anything about anything. But it does have a little ramp that flips down, which is cool. Great feature from Matchbox. I love the innovative design of some of these moving parts, especially in this mix with the Triumph having the metal bumper for some reason. And the Mini having the headlights that stay while the rest of the hood goes up, just like the real car, is cool. And then we got the little ramp truck, which this really gives me like the old school Lesney vibes, you know, with the horse truck and the ramp would come down. Such a cool vehicle. Boop. And actually, like, will sit there flat. I mean, if you had a motorcycle, wait. motorcycle. Oh, come on. I thought I had one somewhere. I had like a little sport bike. Oh, my Hi-Ace is on it. There we go. This came with the toy cabin Suzuki Carry. One of them. True 164 motorcycle. Look at that. You can bring it right up. And right in the bed. I don't know why I had to demonstrate how the ramp works. But there you go. You can haul your Suzuki Ninja with the Chevy Corvair. Very weird pairing, but you can do it. We're going to keep that in there because it's cool. Moving on to the Dodge Durango Police, which they don't call it the Police. They just call it Dodge Durango for some reason. I love how half of the taillight is decaled there. That's great. I don't know if they're all like that, and actually, it's actually fine over here. So, weird artwork issue. But this one also has a party trick, not in the moving parts. Actually, well, it kind of does. Kind of has a party trick with the moving parts. But the main thing is, hold on, rubber tires on a mainline moving part vehicle. Now I say that because the premiums normally get the moving part or the rubber tires. So how are they able to get them in the budget for this? Like this, it seems like the budget for this final mix of the year was like bumped up to the max. And especially with the Land Rover in there, which is massive. But yeah, it's interesting. It's so interesting, and I love it. And then the first mix of 25 comes out, and it's pretty boring. So let's enjoy this while we can before that video comes out. You got your very nice headlight details. You got your grille, fog lights down below. Well, they might not be fog lights. They might be like repeater lights for the light bar. Boone County Sheriff, K9, and you do get full tail light. Look at that. Hey, is there any water in the LED? Because that's the big issue with these. The water fills up in the LED and it shorts out, or whatever. It fades out. Boone County, slow down on the plate. Durango, got your rear cladding here. I give Mopar and Stellantis products a lot of crap. But I've worked on Durangos before, and it is super easy to change out, like, bumpers. I know, it doesn't take any skill on any car, but they make it super... All the bolts and hardware are visible. You can pop it off and pop it back on. No problems. All by myself. I don't even need anybody else to hold the bumper, which some cars you do. It's great. So, Stellantis, you built the Durango pretty good. I mean, simplicity isn't always cheap. You just gotta use your mind. Like, think smarter, not harder. And Stellantis did with the Durango. Somehow. The rest of their stuff's kind of weird. The Wranglers are stupid. I hate taking bumpers off those. But, yeah. You got a little dog in the back there because it's a K9. So cool. And, yeah. Both doors open. And they're both metal, which is the first time that's happened on the rear doors of a vehicle. The only one to have opening rear doors before was the Crown Vic. And they were both plastic, and they would get stuck. They wouldn't open smoothly. Yeah, it was weird. The next one, the Cherokee, which I think is in Mix 125, has the same thing, the rear opening doors. They're both metal, so that's very nice. But that is it for this mix. Durango is certainly a highlight. I think I'm going to put the Prius above the XM, because the Prius is better. And even the EQ. So you guys go. That's the final mix of 2024. Thank you all for watching. Which was your favorite moving parts this year? Let me know. See you all next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.